Hello, it's yet another interesting package of the weekly news program, The Word This Week. In this edition of the news program, we shall serve you news across the nation in the first segment, while in the second segment, major news that make the headlines on the foreign scene, sport roundup, as well as Saturday's special we make of this package. This week's highlight is the assurance by the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari's administration, to make Nigeria remain the most viable and attractive investment destination in Africa. On Saturday's special, our focus is on the achievement of the current administration in the Ogun State in the last 2 years as preparations begin for another fiscal year. I am Simiat Abaru. Welcome on board. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has said that Nigeria remains the most viable and attractive investment destination in Africa. He says also that the country is on the path to becoming the continent's leading industrial and trading nation. The president made the declarations when he addressed the Trade and Investment Forum at the Dubai Expo 2020 in the United Arab Emirates on Saturday. The event was organized by the Nigerian Arabian Gulf Chamber of Commerce in collaboration with Nigeria's Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment and the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. Mr. Femi Adesina, the president's spokesman, said in a statement that President Muhammadu Buhari pointed out that Nigeria is reaping from his administration's effort to consciously improve the country's environment. President Buhari assured captains of industry and entrepreneurs who had shown interest and commitment to enhance trade and investment relations with Nigeria that government would continue to work with them to improve the business climate, adding that this had become essential as the African Continental Free Trade Area comes into full effect. The wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, has called on the state government to fully domesticate gender-based violent acts across the country. Mrs. Buhari, while making the call at the second annual conference of Nigeria Governors' Wives Forum in Abuja, also harped on synergy between all relevant stakeholders to fight against all forms of gender-based violence. She urged for intensified effort and the provision of adequate shelter, education, healthcare, and all barriers that can mitigate against the well-being of women, girl child, and children.
It will be recalled that under my guidance in 2019 and June 2020, the Nigerian Governors' Wives came together to take a decision for their spouses to declare a state of emergency on gender-based violence in Nigeria. Simultaneously, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Bempoden Talent, also raised the issue at the Federal Executive Council.
Also speaking, the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talon, called for more courage among women to hold more critical national offices in government with a view to making the needed difference.
With Her Excellency last week, and she is fully available that before she leaves office, she will definitely, by the grace of God, leave a legacy of ensuring that we have more women in the National Assembly. We have more women at the state houses of assembly. We have more women at the local government level. Nobody can do the magic but you. The wife of the president and all our 36 first ladies, if you want to do it, I strongly believe you can do it. Before you leave office, there has to be a legacy. I want you to be the godmothers in your state, where you will support women, and whatever you support, I know your husbands will support it.
In her address, the chairman, Nigeria Governors' Wives Forum, Irelu Bisi Fayemi, appealed to states yet to assent to the Gender-Based Violence Act to do so.
How busy the executive governors are. So we want to humbly request that the governors who have not found the time to attend to the bill should please do so as soon as possible. And then we would like you governors to please put in place the required resources to enable us to implement the VAP effectively. And we can't do this unless we address the issue of treatment, care and protection of GBV survivors.
Present at the conference was the First Lady of Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Abeokuta. Also at the conference was the Chairman, Nigeria Governors Forum, Governor Kayode Fayemi, First Lady of Oyo State, Mrs. Olufunke Makinde, and the First Lady of Imo, Nasarawa, Osun, Kogi, among others. Committed to promoting accountability and transparency in all ministries, departments, and agencies of government in Ogun State, the State House of Assembly, through its Committee on Public Account and Anti-Corruption, has considered the audit report of the Gateway United Football Club with a charge on the management team to always comply with the relevant accounting principles and financial regulation to promote efficiency and effectiveness. The committee chairman, Honorable Mushefiu Lamidi, gave the charge during the consideration of the 2015-2019 Auditor General's report on the State Football Club, led by its acting general manager, Mr. Niyi Shuneye, at the Assembly Complex, Okimoso, Abeokuta. The House Committee also requested the management of the team to submit all supporting documents relating to all activities, including funds expended or received under the player sign-on fees, loaned players, sport academy, and all approvals for releases of match funds, among others. Honorable Mushefiu, in company of other lawmakers, requested that the management should provide the document on or before 30th of December 2021, that they should reappear before the committee on the 19th of January 2022. The same vein, the committee directed that the State Ministry of Works and Infrastructure to submit supporting document on special project it executed between the year 2015 and 2019, as the committee considered the audit report of the ministry for the period. The committee further added that the ministry, led by its permanent secretary, Engineer Yusuf Oladimiji, and a former permanent secretary, Engineer Kayode Ademolake, to provide more records relating to the construction and rehabilitation of roads and other records attributed to masts and infrastructure within the period under review. The House Committee also considered the audit report on some officials who served at Imekwa for local government councils between 2014 and 2019, and a warning to the concerned officials to always abide by the financial regulations and other extant laws in all their official conduct. The essence of opposition in any political system should be for the development and progress of any given society. Therefore, good governance should be recognized and commended at all times by opposition political parties. This was made known by a panel of discussants comprising the consultant on media to Ogun State Governor Ife Kayode Akimbode, convener of Ogun Conference of Political Parties, Olufemi Sholuade, and politician Comrade Abayomi Arabambi, while discussing the vote of confidence passed on Governor Dapo Abiodun by Ogun Conference of Political Parties.
You must encourage, that is because Ogun State belongs to all of us. Like I said, I will still definitely, produce a candidate against Governor Dapo Abiodun 2023. Does that make us insignificant? You don't know what Arabambi can even come out. Tomorrow, my sister can come out as governor candidate.
There will be time for horse trading, political maneuvering, all of that terrorize and all of that. But right now it's time for administration. But of course, you know that governance is not a tripartite. Having been privileged to have served at the state level before. So that is why when people say, yes, we have compromised and all of this, no, they are just making a mistake. But the expediency of this time is that this gentleman needs everything we can do to make him succeed. Up to it's our state.
There's something unique about Governor Abiodun, and I'm going to study him. He's a child of grace. Since the inception of Ogun State in 1976, we have never had all the past governors in one party. We have never had all the past deputy governors in one party. We have never had all the past speaker of the House of Assembly in one party. He's happy in the history of Ogun State under Dapo Abiodun.
They concluded that an administration that has surpassed all expectations and transformed the state be supported by all. No less than 50 indigent patients have been relieved of surgical fee as they benefited from the free surgery outreach put together by Common Health Foundation in collaboration with Human Concern Foundation International and Zakat and Sadakat Foundation. The two-day surgery was scheduled to hold at Hope Medical Center, Elega, and Lek Fat Medical Center, Biola Way, both in Abeokuta. Margaret Okunola report.
The Common Health Foundation is a non-governmental organization with the objectives of improving health indices, as well as focus on social and economic empowerment to the populace. To this end, the Common Health Foundation, in collaboration with Human Concern Foundation International and Zakat and Sadakat Foundation, started a two-day free surgery outreach for indigent patients who had earlier undergo surgical screening.
This is a very beautiful idea and a welcome development. Health is the first anywhere in the world, because it's only when you have health that you stay alive. And it's only when you are alive that you can think of any idea or even praying to do anything, even in your house, place of work, anywhere. So health is very, very, very key and important.
Chairman, Common Health Foundation, Dr. Sahid Soni, stressed the need for good health care service delivery.
We discovered that within the community there are individuals with some surgical ailments that could not go to hospital, mainly because of economic challenges. Even to eat has become a problem, so not even talk about going to the hospital for surgical care. So we discovered, and some of these surgical disorders can actually cause them their life if we don't attend to them on time.
Organizations with similar interest and objective corroborated the narrative, saying it's their way of giving back to their immediate society.
We know that the government cannot do it alone, so we felt that as a way of giving back to our people, then we have to at least give them something.
Herniatomy, and number 2, angiography, number 3, lumpectomy, number 4, lipoma remover, number 5, hydrocelectomy, number 6, incision and drainage, and quite a number of others.
It's not only for Muslims. So beneficiaries comes from anywhere, Muslims, Christian, anybody.
Beneficiaries said it was a welcomed stopgap in healthcare service delivery. The outreach brought together surgeons and experts in management of common surgical conditions. Margaret Okunola, Ogtv News.
Talking about an update on the Omicron virus variant of the COVID-19, the World Health Organization has enjoined countries not to panic, but to prepare for the likely spread of the COVID-19 Omicron variant as scientists continue to study it. Speaking in Geneva, WHO spokesperson Christian Lindmeier stressed that data suggesting that Omicron was highly transmissible was only preliminary. The United Nations World Health Organization agency repeated that it would take another 2 weeks before more is known about how transmissible and how dangerous it actually is. He also repeated the WHO's advice against blanket travel bans except for countries whose health systems were unable to withstand a surge in infections. The WHO official also cautioned against the knee-jerk reactions to report that Omicron had continued to spread. The development comes as the WHO said that it was sending a technical search team to South Africa's Gauteng province to monitor Omicron and help with contact tracing amid a spike in coronavirus reinfections. For the 7 days leading to November 30, South Africa reported a 311% increase in new cases compared with the previous 7 days, according to the WHO. Talking Christmas. Christmas is a season of love when sharing and humility should prevail among all in the society. This was the submission of the dignitaries in attendance at the 2021 Christmas Carol organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists Ogun State Information Chapel held at Chapel of Christ the King, OOPL, Abeokuta. Margaret Okunola has the details.
As the year 2021 is gradually going to an end. The festive season is around the corner, and carols are organized to bring inspiration to people and connect them in groups to share the mutual communal Christmas praise. Celebrating the season with grateful hearts, the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ogun State Information Chapel, put together Christmas carol and service of 7 lessons. In his welcome address, the chairman, NUJ Ogun State Information Chapel, Mr. Wale Olanrewaju, said Christmas is a representation of God's humility and generosity.
The simple thing that we want people to take away from this is the generosity that God himself showed by giving us his own begotten son.
The senior pastor of King's Word International Church, Abeokuta, Pastor Dayo Adefolahon, in a sermon titled Essence of His Birth, highlighted the importance of Christmas.
Christ died for us, that he commend his love towards us. While we were sinners. You don't have to be perfect to come to God. You just have to receive his love, and his love will change.
7 lessons were taken from the Holy Bible. The first lesson taken by the Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Barrister Femi Ogunbanwu, who was represented by his permanent secretary, Pastor Rotimi Akinlesi. The second lesson was taken by the permanent secretary, Political Affairs and Administration, Mr. Kendi Onosonya. The third by the director, State Bureau of Information Technology, Mrs. Olatundun Adekunte. The fourth by director in the Ministry of Information and Strategy, Comrade Lanre Ogunyinka. The fifth by the Acting General Manager of Ogun State Television, Ogtv, Mr. Tunde Kazim. The sixth lesson by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Kunle Shomore. And the seventh lesson was taken by the General Manager, Ogun Broadcasting Corporation, Toyin Shogbeson, who was represented by the Director of News and Current Affairs, Benga Oshindele. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
After 35 days in captivity, the Kaduna State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria has confirmed the release of the remaining 61 kidnapped worshippers of Emmanuel Baptist Church in the Chikun local government area of the state. The vice chairman of the association, the 19 northern state in Abuja, Reverend John Yahab, who made this known in the to newsmen on Saturday, said 9 other victims were also released alongside the 61 worshippers on Friday evening. This is coming barely 24 hours after bandits stormed Ungwa Gimbia in the same Chikun local government area of the state, killing 2 persons, while over 50 members of the community were abducted by the hoodlums in the early hours of Friday. Ungwan Gimbia is located around Sabo area of the state and had witnessed a mass exodus of residents from the area following the activities of bandits in the area. The community is a few kilometers away from Kakao Daji, where over 60 worshippers of Baptist Church were kidnapped on Sunday, 31st October 2021 during church service. 2 of the abductees were killed on the spot. 2 others were shot dead later, while 1 was injured and hospitalized. You're still watching The Work This Week on Ogtv. We'll now take a break. Join us shortly for the rest of the news.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ijebu Expressway. It is not enough for us to have constructed this expressway and for people to be coming all the way from Lagos and then we now want to link the Shagamu Expressway, and then we now start having accidents that we experienced in the past. So we thought that it would make sense for us to have an integrated that will allow for an effective and efficient ease of traffic movement from Ijebu on to Shagamu Benin, or to Ijebu Shagamu or Ijebu Benin. And also for those that are coming from that going to Lekki, you don't have to be crossing the expressway. You just get on the loop and without obstructing traffic, you are now at the playground. So that is what is happening there. This expressway provides an option for people coming from the eastern part of this country going to the nation's foremost economic hub, which is Lagos. It's reducing the traffic that would either to have gone all the way to Shagamu and increase the local traffic going from Ibadan to Lagos. So it would make room for more efficiency in traffic management.
You're welcome back. Moving straight to the foreign scene. Residents on the Indonesian island of Java have been fleeing a vast